I would like to expand a little bit on what Rolling Stone was talking about by giving a few examples of what he was talking about. Dealing with computers, you're now seeing less wired mice and now wireless mice, wireless keyboards. You're even starting to see wireless monitors. They're advertising video cards with wireless transmitters in them so you can go from your computer directly to your TV with the assumption that it's larger than your computer monitor. The other point that was brought up, if it's so bad for you, why would they be doing it? If you allow me to go off topic for a moment, there's a lot of things that are done that are not good for you. Cigarettes are not good for you, but they sell them en masse. Alcohol is not good for you. But it's sold en masse. But my point is, just because something is bad for you doesn't mean they won't continue to sell it.
You must remember this. It doesn't matter whether the technology is good for you or not. They don't care. They don't care if it kills you. As long as they sell their products, that's the bottom line dollar is what they care about. It's the same old thing I've said this time and time again. You want to get the answer to the bottom of the question, you just follow the money trail. That's what it's all about. Now, a few years down the road, there'll be lawsuits. People will say this is killing us and that's killing us, and then it'll be dragging on to the courts. It'll be just like everything else. But nothing that in whether stuff's good for us or not. They say they do, but if they really did, they would do something about it. They wouldn't produce stuff that we know that's a lie.
So, on another example, look at cars. We all know this and how many cars there are on the planet. I was really not putting electric cars to prevent the hand-waving and a few little projects here or there, but nothing really major that's going to turn the technology. And I believe that's true. My point is profitable. They're going to stick with it, irregardless of whether it's harmful to people or not, just like what Calvin was saying.
And speaking of cars, and the connection to Wi-Fi, I was ready to go and find it because I never bookmarked it. But remember the Toyota controversy that they had around a year ago, where cars were allegedly just accelerating out of control and crashing and killing people? Well, I was reading that their accelerators were working via Wi-Fi instead of the conventional method of using fly-by-wire. And so you would basically step on the gas pedal and it would just send a signal, liken it to a trigger or a remote control plane, and that would be increasing the speed via that radio frequency. And so maybe some of these frequencies were getting crossed or something along those lines, and that's what caused the Wi-Fi system within the car to get stupid, and they would accelerate out of control. I don't know. That just made me think of that when you mentioned cars.
Now, myself personally, I like all this new technology, and I like this wireless stuff now. As far as it whether it harms them or not, I don't know. I have a cell phone. I go 2-3 days in a row. I don't make a telephone call at all. I don't even receive a call. So I doubt that I'm using a cell phone enough that it's going to harm me physically. But I do see some people that've got a telephone stuck in there. I think it's embedded in their ears now. They can get it out. They're constantly, you see them, on the cars with texting, and they got it right up by their head. Probably that's not good for you, But I think
it's really not.
This technology is really great, So if they can keep it safe enough that it's not harming people, I don't see a problem with it.
Calvin, one of the things you said about following the buck, I agree with that to an extent. But Rolling Stone's question about why is everything going wireless And it makes me also think of, I just saw the movie for the first time less than a year ago, but the kids movie WALL-E. And it's a convenience factor. It's about laziness. And being able to do things without getting up and just having a completely wireless environment. And it made me think, in something else, I wanted to respond to Adamite, who had talked about computers not necessarily controlling us. But I would just say, you can walk around any junior high or high school and look at how young people are tethered to their phones. They don't even wear them or in any kind of holster or anything like that, or they are carrying them in their hands. And as soon as that thing buzzes with a transmission, they are immediately looking. So it does control them, and it's probably going to get worse over time.
Well, the reality of it with the wireless technology, it's actually cheaper to operate this wireless technology than it is the landline technology. They make these cell phones now they probably can make one for $1 or $2. Mass produced, and all the little chips and stuff in them are mass produced. It costs them very little to manufacture. They make those for $1 or $2 and sell them to you for $100. So profit off that. There's no landline to maintain. With all the landline devices, there was problems. Trees would fall on the lines. Lightning would run in on something, and that kind of stuff all the time. So now with this wireless stuff, you can charge this stuff up in a couple hours, or you're good to go again. It's cheaper to manufacture. It's easier to use, and there's more money to be made. So in that respect, it's actually better technology than what we had before, where we were locked to the landline.
Starflame, we'd really like you to mic up from your bunker on Neptune.
I agree. Star, please come out and talk to us. You're making some interesting comments in the text, and we would really like to hear you voice your opinion.
Yeah, Starflame, mic up there, brother. We all need to hear another venue of thought.
Hey, could I throw something in here real quick?
Yes.
Of course.
The FCC has control of this, right?
I think to a degree. I mean,
They do.
Yes, they do. But
Frequencies,
your freedom is that with Bluetooth and with all these smaller devices, they don't have a strong enough broadcast range to necessarily. You can get under the radar with them. It's kind of like that whole thing where if you're not causing any interference, then they kind of what they do is just provide a broad spectrum, and everybody just has to fall within that. And that's why you get in trouble. You get in trouble if you have a little FM transmitter at home and you beef it up a little bit so that you're beyond that 25 milliwatt or whatever it is. And so yeah, if you're under a certain wattage of radio strength, then you're not really going to be scrutinized that hard if that's what you're asking.
Well, you know, back
the FCC controls the frequencies.
Calvin.
They sell the frequencies to the highest bidder, and then they regulate what can be done with the frequencies. But as far as the manufacturer of the device and stuff, the FCC really doesn't have any control. As long as you can broadcast over the frequency by the rules that they've set up, then you're good to go. So that's basically all the FCC do. They just regulate the airways, but they don't really regulate the devices.
Starflame, go ahead, buddy.
Well, actually, I was just responding to what you guys already know, and especially Cappy. He understands that our mind is a transmitter, and I'm thinking along the lines of these energy waves that are coming into our world this year, and we're going to show intelligence, and it's how we use this. It's how this that's going to allow us to overcome what our problems are, and I'm just yeah, that's all I got.
So, Star, do you think that there's a chance that we're going to evolve? That we're going to, as a result of being exposed to these constantly, that it's going to become something that, is a part of us?
Is it not already a part of us?
Yeah, I think we're going to tap into the intelligence that's going to allow us to become whatever we will ourselves to be, and we're going to have that intelligence, we're going to have that power, and we're going to be able to rise above all the crap. Yeah.
I've got a question. Is it easier to pick these Wi-Fi signals out of the air? Is it harder to pick those out than it was say the ham radio signals, or is it basically the same thing and there was actually no... ham radio people could talk all over the world too. That was the first internet if you just think about it. I want to know, I don't know, anybody know anything about ham radio?
Well, actually, ham radios, really, to be honest with you, were the very first points of communication between one point in one continent or the other continent that we could actually discuss on. Nowadays, it is Wi-Fi. We don't even. This is what the revolution, even in Egypt and the Middle East, is all about. Is ham radio is now in your hand. It's hand radio. Personally, it's your phone. You can SMS anybody around the world. You can turn around and make it happen. You want that information, you can have it instantly. And has this, at the end of the day, brought us better lives or worse lives? And to me, that's the bottom question. Has it influenced my life? Of course it has. It always will influence my life as long as technology and electricity survive in my world.
I think it honestly has, it's helped us for the better. Overall, yes, we're having a few health issues. We can't really confirm exactly how bad the health issues are right now. But as a result of this communication that we have, this ability that we have, it affects the ability that we have to communicate all over the world. And with doing that, it's opened us up so much more. 50 years ago, your views of Egypt or Ethiopia or Iraq or Afghanistan were limited to what you were told, and you knew as much as you were told, and that's all you knew. Now you have the ability to actually interact with people from those parts of the world without being, a playboy millionaire hopping across the world all over the place, on jets and every other form of travel. You're able to communicate with these people that you couldn't communicate with before. And there's a deeper understanding of each other now as a result of that. We are no longer limited to taking our information from just one controlled source. And that is a wonderful thing, and it's bringing everybody on the planet very slowly closer together. So I think it's a wonderful thing.